I'm Craig Grant and this is Cobweb Maths. This presentation will cover 5 different kinds of calculation, percentage calculations. Here is the rule for finding x% of y. The percent sign means per 100. That's where we get the dividing by 100 from. The of means times. That's where we get the times from. So that is x times y over 100. Now we're going to work out 30% of 40. So we take the two numbers and multiply them together on the top line. And on the bottom line we divide by 100, cross off the zeros, the answer is $12. Next question, we have to increase $60 by 10%. We have to calculate 10% first. 10% of 60 is 10 times 60 divided by 100. Cross out the zeros there and there, there and there. The answer is $6. Well, not the answer, sorry. That's 10%. The real answer is actually 66 because we have to add that $6 onto the 60. 60 plus 6 is $66. The next one is a decrease. $80 has to be decreased by 30%. So we have to work out 30%. 30% of 80 is 30 times 80 over 100, which is $24. So we put the $80 down there and we take away 24 because it needs to be reduced, and the answer is $56. Now we're going to do question 4, which is at the other end of the board, and I need to put this down so that it lines up. I should do that carefully. Right, here's question 4. Green Bay's school roll is 600. This is a 20% increase on last year's roll. You're asked to find last year's roll. Here's the key step. What you do is you make last year's roll 100%. Now what's happened is we've got a 20% increase, so you take last year's roll, which was 100%, you add on 20% and you get this year's roll. So 120% of last year's roll is going to be 600 because that was this year's roll. Now what we do is divide both sides by 12. That'll take that to 10. That'll take that to 50. So 10% is 50. 100% will be 500. So that will be last year's roll. Now we can check it. So we take last year's roll, we find 20%. So that's 20 times 500 over 100, and that works out to be 100. And 500 plus the increase, which is 100, is equal to 600, which is what we need. Now we're going to do question 5. I'll just pick it up on the other board and put it on carefully so it's centered. Okay. Now that should be centered. Blue Point school roll is 700. That's a 30% reduction in last year's school roll. We have to find last year's school roll. We did the key step. Make last year's roll 100%. This time we've got a reduction of 30%, so we take 30% off 100, and this year's roll is 70% of last year's roll, which is 700. So we divide by 7, and we get 10% is 100. So then we multiply by 10. That'll give us 100 there, and that'll give us 1,000. So last year, look at that. We've made a mistake. We just better correct that now. I'll get a pen. There. Last year's roll is 100%. Oh, there it is. It's 1,000. Didn't look far enough. So that's 1,000 over there. We do the check. 30% of 1,000 is 300. Got 1,000 and we take away 300 and we get 700 I mean, and there's last year's roll. So that's how it works. I was looking at that. 100% is actually 1,000, and that's it.